My name's Peter Vanderwarker. I'm a self-employed architectural photographer. Been in the same business for over 30 years. Um, I have a degree in architecture. I tried practicing for about 3 miserable years. I hated it. I tried teaching for about 3 years. And finally, around age 30, became a freelance photographer. Um, Besides shooting buildings for architects, I've done my fourth book about architecture is going to come out in just a few weeks. It's a ongoing study of how a team of architects and developers built a 3-acre park on top of an interstate highway, the Massachusetts Turnpike, which I think is a minor triumph for our city. And I'm represented by a Gallery Naga in Boston. And for the past 20 years, I've been doing a highly abstract color. There's one up there, color landscape photographs. I became an American painter named Thomas Cole, became kind of my hero about 20 years ago. And I went around, one thing I did is I chased around to a lot of the sites where he painted a lot of the paintings, which I love. He was the first American painter to see our landscape about 1830 as something besides an item to be exploited. He saw it as a source of spiritual redemption. I thought it was a powerful idea for its time. I went off the track a little bit, but it's something about the natural world that I like being in it, and I like photographing it. And it's much harder to shoot than architecture. You got a much different set of dynamics. So that's kind of what I'm working on now. One other small piece of this is that in 2004, I transitioned from a film camera, which is this is a film camera. And I carried this thing around for 25 years. It weighs about 25 pounds. And so what we did was if you didn't have one of these cameras back in the 80s, you couldn't be an architectural photographer. You didn't have the right tool, right? And now you can be an architectural photographer with an iPhone. So there's that lesson. My point is that in 2004, it became much easier to take photographs, easier to make buildings look good, which is nice for me. But I wound up, the skill set becomes diminished. You become a person who you're tuning in TV sets. That's what you're doing all the time. You're just twiddling the knobs to get the image right. And so all of the kind of magic that is accompanied by silver-based film was lost. And so I guess principled person that I am, I decided to engage my hands again. So for the past about 15 years, I've been making steel maps, and I can talk about those a little bit later. But I like working with my hands. I love working in steel. I've been doing that since high school, basically, and it's a way to get outside of your head. You just using these things, right? Which is what photography used to be and isn't anymore. So that's kind of that's where I am now. So back to handwork. It's kind of sort of a shaker kind of aesthetic.